They've got to do something on energy. They're just making energy more and more expensive, and that's filtering through to everything. It is just shocking. Look, another aspect of this, of course, is housing affordability, which is really, really tough now, arguably the toughest it's been for a generation or more. Yet we learned today that $4 billion in the past financial year has come into Aussie property when you combine mainland China and Hong Kong as well. Now, we all love foreign investment, I suppose. We know it shows good faith in our economy. Our economy has always really needed foreign investment to thrive and grow. But, Stephen, I feel uneasy about billions of dollars of communist Chinese investment coming into our housing market, inflating prices, of course, while first home buyers can't get in.
Yeah, Chris, look, I've said for years and years and years, and this predates our dramas with China, that there is no justification for foreign investment in residential property. I've got no problem with foreign investment in commercial property, in retail, but when it comes to residential, Australian homes should be for Australian people. Now, whether they're immigrants or born here, that's not the issue. But there is no excuse and no justification for foreign buyers to be owning our residential property. And that's what's forcing the price of homes up. And then, of course, we exacerbate the problems ourselves here by making sure that the housing crisis continues on and just talking about it. But I think if we ban foreign investment in residential property tomorrow, it will be a long way to fixing the problem.
Yeah, one of the things that worries me about this, Susie, and we don't have hard data on it, but some of these Chinese investors are buying it for themselves, buying it because they might want to live here or because their kids might want to study here, but often leaving them empty. So the idea that, they're inflating prices here and leaving homes empty when we've got an accommodation crisis is just, just salt into the wound.
Yeah, I live in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, and it's one of the biggest concentrations of Chinese population in probably anywhere in Australia. I mean, Box Hill, Balwyn, Glen Waverley, you've got places where there are entire streets where there's Chinese signs, schools that have 3/4 of the population Chinese kids, parents talking Chinese, a lot of signs in Chinese. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think it's bad when it's so concentrated in particular areas. And I know in Balwyn, for example, you've got houses that were, 1.5 million. They're bought by Chinese investors or Chinese people who want to live here. They knock the house down, they build another house. It sells for $8 million because they build these massive mansions that go from one edge of the property to the other. And, these are houses, some of them sit empty for years and years because they're dumping the money here. They know it's a good property here is a good investment, but they're not necessarily living in those houses. And, there's a lot of trees that are going, neighbourhoods that are changing. So I think if we're going to have this kind of foreign investment, it has to be kind of spread out and assimilated so that it's not so concentrated in particular areas.
Yeah, it'd be handy if someone lived in it too. Like maybe you could rent it out if the thing's sitting there empty.